Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of Video Games Ahoy. My name is Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by Dav Gabe.
Hello.
And Zac Hamilton.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys?
Very well. Quite warm, but I'm taking it. It's not very warm.
Yeah, it's not as... I mean, I think I looked at my the temperature just outside my flat earlier, and I think it was 27.
Hey, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that. It was 36 yesterday, and just no.
No, thank you.
No. Zac, what's it like with you? Because obviously me and Dav are down south.
It's raining here. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
It was a little bit too warm for me yesterday, but we really haven't got anything close to what you guys have had. Like, it's
well, also,
England, baby.
Also, Zac's temperature gauge is completely screwed because he knows.
Don't help me.
We were when we were in Germany. So the first time I met Zac, we went to Germany, and it was freezing. So I was wearing about 3 or 4 layers. He was wearing shorts, and it was about 2 degrees. I don't know what that would be in. Be quiet, phone.
That's how absurd it is that
exactly.
his phone is not understanding you wearing shorts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious. It was just hilarious because Zac was just walking around in shorts, and then these German people were just coming up and just staring at him as we were walking. We walk into this picturesque town with snow falling down, and just.
But the messed up thing is that's me at like a really perfect temperature. So when it's hot and it's everyone's in shorts, and I'm like, okay, well I can't really take off any more clothes because it's not really allowed. And so I'm just constantly sweating. It's great.
It's allowed.
Germany. In Germany, it's definitely allowed.
It's encouraged.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is quite a start to the podcast this week. It's been quite warm. let's just put it that way. If it's been quite warm, and I think I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, it's too warm. People shouldn't complain because the UK doesn't get that hot weather. And I'm like, no.
That's why we live in the UK.
That's why we live here. If I wanted to be warm, I'd live in a warm country like Australia,
totally.
even though they probably wouldn't let me in. But still, yeah.
You would burn to a crisp.
Yeah,
You would wilt.
I'm pretty pasty white. I think it's
in the best way.
Should we give some people? Will you be quiet, phone? I'm gonna. Right, I've had enough of this. I'm so sorry, listeners. It's just absolutely. This is disgusting behavior from Bixby.
Episode 17.
It's when it's starting to fall apart. Like the whole podcast is falling apart. But if you are new to the podcast, then hello, welcome. We are the team at Video Games Ahoy.
Sorry, this is your first one.
Yeah. I would say there's probably better ones to start off listening to. So go listen to those and then give us a review. Don't review us after this one because, yeah. But yeah, if this is the first time, then hello. How are you? We're doing okay. This is like the guy said, episode 17. It's been a wild ride. It's been what like. I can't believe how quickly we've got to episode 17. We're going to be at episode 25 pretty soon, 7 weeks-ish, 8 weeks, I should say.
8 weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Dav, you said something last night on the WhatsApp group. I'm really excited for like the end of the year podcast, where we kind of review the year and we talk about our favorite games and what we expect from the next year. That's going to be really cool. I mean, that's not. I would say that's not a while away yet, but we started this in. When did we start this? Was it April, May?
It would have been
Maybe
17
March.
weeks ago.
There we are. However long that ago, that was 17 weeks ago. Yeah, maybe even March. Maybe it could.
I feel like it was late March.
If you're listening to this for the second time, and maybe you can tell us because you probably listened to the first one, or if not, just check it out and then tell us. Anyway, we have a Patreon page or Patreon. I never know how to say it, and we have some lovely patrons. So if you are a patron, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It really helps us. You're really helping us grow, and we've got some really cool stuff on the horizon, which is great. We also have Twitch and a YouTube and a Facebook and Twitter, all those things. You can check us out. But if you want to check out our Patreon page, it is Video Games Ahoy. You can pay £1, £5, £10, or anything you like. We have different tiers with loads of cool stuff. So yeah, check it out. And if you don't want to, then that's totally cool. We don't mind you just checking in and listening to us. We appreciate it either way. Like I said, you can find us on Twitter and Facebook, YouTube as well. But also, Dav Gape is our Twitcher. He does all the Twitch. He does all of the twitching over on Twitch.tv.
What are you playing at the moment?
Still making my way through Link's Awakening on Switch, which is just a dream. We've got multiplayer Mondays. We're making our way through Overcooked 2 Monday evenings.
Can I just say, I just got to cut you off really quickly, which is typical really for me. It was just the other day when you and Dad were just like, oh yeah, we've had a really pleasant time and we've done really well. And I came in and just started screaming at everyone. Like, oh, we gotta get this, you... That's pretty much how it goes.
Jonny introduced Mania into what was quite a lovely and docile environment.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's really not wrong.
The week before, I quote, "This game's easier with 3 players."
Maybe it was me all along. That was why we were bad. But yeah, check Dav out on Video Games Ahoy over on Twitch. He does some really cool stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics. Should we talk about a bit of news, fellas?
What's going on, Jonny?
Well, I think so. There's been some really interesting stuff. I think the biggest news you got to talk about really is to do with Microsoft. So Halo has been postponed until next year, which is a shame. I think it is a shame, but with everything that needs to be done with coronavirus and everything that's happening, I mean, they specifically said in the press release that it is partly to do with that. We don't know what else it is. It could be a number of different things. I've got a quote here, which I'll read out now. So basically, 343 Industries said, "We have made the difficult decision to shift our release to 2021 to ensure the team has adequate time to deliver a Halo game experience that meets our vision." That was studio head Chris Lee. He also said the decision to shift our release is the result of multiple factors that have contributed to development challenges, including the ongoing COVID-related impacts affecting us all this year. I think a lot of people will have sympathy with Microsoft because, yeah, it's not just them that's affected. Look at Nintendo, for instance. They've been massively affected by this whole situation. But there's a part of me that feels like that it will give... I don't know. It's a big shame, I think. I mean, I think one thing we talked about last night as well in our group that they instantly announced, as soon as they mentioned that Halo Infinite is going to be postponed, they straight away announced that the Series X will be coming out in November. They didn't give a specific day in November, but we know sometime during that month. We kind of figured it would be anyway. That's usually the time where consoles come out. Anywhere between like October and December, they would come out. But yeah, how do you guys feel? Particularly Dav, because obviously that is one game that you were looking forward to, especially with the Series X. I know it's not going to change you buying a Series X.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, obviously massively looking forward to that game. I still am. Personally, I'm always kind of happy when a game gets delayed because the alternative, obviously I'd love for the game to be ready and come out when it does with any game, but if it's going to be delayed, it means the decision was to delay it or release it unfinished and patch it afterwards. Yeah. And I always rather get in a game that feels done on day one, even if this is day one patch. It feels done and they can add more, as opposed to release a half-baked package at the full price and then go, oh, and look at this bonus content of like 1080p. And it's like, no, this should have been there.
Yeah, it should have been.
But this is kind of a unique situation because it was the launch. It was the killer app at launch.
Yeah.
I guess, realistically, very few consoles release with a killer app at launch. Xbox One didn't really. PS4 definitely didn't. 360 didn't. Look through their launch lineup recently. Couldn't remember PS3's for the life of me. It's kind of a Nintendo thing, if you think about it.
Yeah, well, I think it's because...
Wild.
I think that's the thing. Within the first year, Nintendo... I mean, 2017 might be one of the best years for Nintendo in general. You think of the games that came out then, Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario and Rabbids, Mario Odyssey. I mean, that's pretty much the list of the best games on the Switch.
Didn't ARMS as well? Don't
ARMS
forget
as
ARMS.
well. ARMS. Oh, sorry. Yes, ARMS as well. I mean, it's not a bad game, but
But then also you've got NES came out with Super Mario Bros. Some variation of that.
Yeah.
You've got the N64. Obviously came out only with 2 games, but one of them was Super Mario 64.
Yeah.
So like maybe it is just a Nintendo thing, and we just all have this idea of the killer app. But Halo was supposed to be. When you've got your Xbots and your Sony fanboys going, Xbox, all the Xbots would go, well, we've got Halo Infinite on day one. Where's your equivalent?
Yeah.
And Sony don't have an equivalent to that stature. Like, Spider-Man Miles Morales is more like an Uncharted Lost Legacy, so it's not quite a Halo level.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Xbox were here, Sony were here, and now Xbox may be here. But who knows? Like, all these... There are still games that probably yet to be announced. Some games that... And these days, it's kind of a launch window. But I guess to summarise, it's gutting that Halo wasn't able to be ready by now. I think it was quite obvious that COVID got in the way a lot, and I think there's a lot of games where that's happened now, and it will continue to happen. I think Nintendo have seen a lot of the issues. The sort of big Mario 35th plans that got leaked / rumoured.
Yeah.
Where are those? So, we'll see. But Phil Spencer came out and said, he said back in March, I think it was, he said, doesn't matter what games get delayed, whether that's even Halo Infinite, nothing is going to push back the launch of the Xbox. So I think even then, they were preparing for the worst with Halo not being able to launch with the console.
Yeah, and the thing is as well is I've read a couple of times, because like I said, I will get a PlayStation 5 first. That is what I've pretty much decided that's what I'm going to get. Not because of this. I think it's just for... I don't have any Xbox games, so it would make no sense.
I'd be quite bitter if it was because of this.
But it's like, no, that's it. That's the reason. No, but like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, I even though with Game Pass and stuff, I would like all of the games that I play currently, I have on my PS4. So like, I'm definitely gonna get Game Pass, and I'm gonna try out the xCloud. I mean, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later actually, but I don't think it would stop. I don't think it's gonna stop me from looking into getting one. I just think, I don't know. It's one of those weird things as well. But I don't think there's ever been a console where I've got day one, even with the Switch. I mean, you had a Switch well before me, and like, I had a Switch. When did I get it? I think I had it like maybe it was August of 2017. So by the time I got it, they would already had like Mario Kart, Splatoon 2, ARMS, Breath of the Wild. All these games had already come out where I had stuff to pick from. But it's. I think you are right, Dav. I think Nintendo do seem to put a lot of impetus on we want our first year to be like the best year, but it doesn't always have to be that case. And so often games come out later on that make the console. I mean, PS3 was so slow, but in the end, it actually sold more than the Xbox 360, and I think people sometimes forget that as well. So. But yeah, also, we've got loads to move on. We're already 15 minutes in, although that could be like... Yeah,
One more thing about Xbox is Phil Spencer came out and said, in an interview with Ryan McCaffrey from IGN, who's like their Xbox boy, basically said, we can and will undercut the PS5 in price. And this is the same conversation where they're talking about the Halo's delays. Yeah. So I think... when we're talking about the chicken of who's going to announce their price first, it's quite clear that PS5 is going to have to, because it doesn't matter what Xbox... Like, even if Xbox comes out with a price and has to come out with the price first, they'll just undercut PS5 anyway, because that's clearly their plan. And Microsoft are a much bigger company than Sony, so they're going to. Yeah, and I think... is it Gabe Newell from Valve? Yeah. He actually said, and he's had major issues with Microsoft over the years, but he actually came out, I think it was last week or the week before, and we didn't really talk about it, but he actually said that if he was going to pick one console to develop games for, it would be the Xbox. He actually said that like 2 weeks ago, because... It's interesting, because we've had a lot of PS5 talk on that side of front. Like, the ability to bring the stuff from the SSD that they've got in the PS5 architecture is supposed to be unrivaled. And now we've got Gabe Newell, who, one of the biggest names in the biz, is talking about the same thing, but with Microsoft. So I think at the end of the day, they're going to be very similar consoles. Yeah. I think we've talked about this multiple times. We all know it's all about Game Pass and xCloud. As though there might even come a point where Microsoft even just go, we don't need to sell the consoles because we want to sell this package, Game Pass Ultimate, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah. Let's move on, because we've got loads and loads of stuff to talk about. Specifically, we've mentioned Nintendo and how well the Switch is doing. Nintendo actually had released a lot of their hardware and software. Basically, their data for the last year, I think it was. Oh, no, the last 4 months. 3 months. Sorry, not 3 months. I'm going crazy. So basically, the Nintendo Switch has pretty much become the second best-selling console. Home console, I should say, because it doesn't include the handheld consoles, even though it is one. It's probably overtaken the NES. They don't
basic. I think the NES. I've got the figures here. The NES is at 61 million, 61.91 million. The Nintendo Switch is at 61.44 million. But this was done to the end of June, and it's August, so you got to feel like Nintendo's beaten that already, considering that Nintendo, every time it comes out of stock, especially in Japan, just goes straight out of stock straight away. So, like, you've got to feel like Nintendo Switch has taken over the NES, which is incredible. Software sales is also ridiculous. So it's 406 million pieces of software they've sold, which is, I think, the third best. And, what 3.5 years into its life? The Wii obviously has the most, and I'm not sure the Switch will beat that, the Wii had 921 million. Nintendo Switch is 406 million.
Wii Sports, though, isn't it?
Exactly. They're including all of the things that were packaged with the Wii when it came out, which is not really... you got 100 million software sales right there. But yeah, there's loads of stuff we're going to talk about this, but do you think... just specifically with this right now, because I'm going to talk about sales a little bit more now, do you think the Switch will beat the Wii? So it's at 61. Let's just say it's probably at 62 now. The Wii was at 101, but I think it was out for... How long was the Wii out for? I think it was out like 9 years, maybe 8 years. So it's 3.5 years now. Do you think the Switch will take over the Wii and become the best-selling home console for Nintendo?
Zach, what do you reckon?
Yeah, what do you reckon, Zach? No?
Doubt it. I don't know. It just seems to me that the Wii was marketed so well. To the point where like your nan had one. You know what I mean?
My mum had one.
Switch. Well, there you go. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's a very common thing. But the Switch has done a very good job of making it an accessible console and reigniting a lot of love for video games that lots of let's call them non-gamers, people who don't play games all that, or normally are still able to get into it, but. Nah, I doubt it. I mean, maybe. We'll see.
I guess it depends how they classify it and going forward how they iterate on the Switch. So, I mean, if the Switch... If they don't bring out a Switch 2, but they bring out a Switch whatever and a Switch this and a Switch that for the next, 8 years, then maybe, people will start upgrading, especially if they don't bring one out until a couple of years into sort of Series X and PS5. People will be ready then to get their upgraded second console, Yeah, because I think the Switch for a lot of people is just the second console. Yeah,
it's... I think it does function like that for a lot of people, especially because you want to play the first-party Nintendo games. That's what I imagine... Well, that's what Zach, I imagine, would have used it for as well, but sadly his Switch was stolen. Yeah. But you're totally right. I personally I do think it's going to get there because I don't know. I do think it's going to be 100 million. I do. I think it's, like I said, 60. What did I say? 62 after 3.5 years. I mean, I don't know even.
But the thing, I just don't see that. I don't see it going. I don't see it continuing in that direction. I mean, the same for the Wii. I think I'm right in saying that the Wii's biggest sales were in the first 3 years.
Yeah, I imagine.
Unsurprisingly. And then presumably doesn't count for secondhand purchase.
No,
I might. No, it wouldn't know that. It does include the Switch Lite though, so that is the. I mean, the thing is that
that's bullshit because that is a handheld console.
That is a handheld console.
Saying it's the second best home console ain't true.
Yeah, you're totally right there. But it does include it, so I think because of that, I mean, I know so many people who have bought. Not me personally, but like I've seen people on Twitter and people that I follow who've bought. Their Switch, and then bought like 2 Switch Lites for their kids. I mean, this is the issue with Animal Crossing, where people didn't realize you'd be stuck to one console for that, which is something Nintendo have to. If it's going to make people want to buy maybe a Switch Lite if you can start moving things around. But yeah, I think specifically with the Wii in its targets, I do think it's going to overtake it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be on much, and it's probably going to be towards the end, maybe when the Switch 2, just before the Switch 2 comes out. But I think it all just comes down to first-party games. Is it going to keep on track? Because if it does, I mean, look at the games you've still got to come. Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime 4, at least. But then beyond that...
Pikmin 4.
Oh, Pikmin.
Breath of the Wild 2 surely is going to do a double console thing. That'll be on the brink of Switch 2 and then the end of the Switch 1.
I don't know.
because it's using a lot. It's using a lot of assets from Breath of the Wild, and they've been working on it since 2017 because originally it was supposed to be DLC. So they're already 3 years. Even if the first year was kind of not a heavy year of them working on it, they've still been working on it for about 2 years. So I could see. I do think it'll come out next year, especially because it'll be the 35th anniversary of
next
Zelda.
year, really?
Yeah, I do think.
I think it's planned for next year, but this year's COVID malarkey.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Probably next year's COVID malarkey.
I don't know. I mean, usually the main, because it's a main title, right? We're not calling it like a spin-off or anything.
No.
They've called it a definite sequel though, which is kind of a first.
I guess if they're using the same assets,
the first,
that certainly shortens things.
It's like Majora's Mask in a way.
But then,
yeah,
that's true. That's a really good point.
That is a good point.
But I think they're probably developing the Zelda after Breath of the Wild 2 right now as well.
They absolutely are. Like, there's no
that
way.
Will be a crossover.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's keep moving on because I think we're 20 minutes in. And, I mean, we still got loads. Of
let's keep going, baby.
Let's keep going.
All right.
All right. Animal Crossing. We need to talk about it because it is already the second best-selling title on the Nintendo Switch. It's been out for 5 months. It's ridiculous. 22.4 million copies since March. That's
Suck it, Metroid.
Like it's around 4.5 million copies a month. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's already Japan's second best-selling game of all time. Have a quick guess. You got one guess each. What do you think is number one?
I know the answer.
Tetris.
Oh, do you know the answer? Tetris. It's actually not Tetris. Dav, what is it?
Pokemon.
It is Pokemon. Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue. But it's so Animal Crossing at New Horizons at 7.5 million, and Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue was at 10.2. So
I think it's best-selling exclusive game.
Ooh, I don't know. I did read. It maybe I did. From what I said, it just said
generally
Japan's second
now
best-selling
assume
game.
that the answer is either Wii Sports or Tetris.
Tetris, yeah, it's a good.
That's fair. That's right.
It's good. If you've learned anything from this podcast, it's that. It's that.
You know, eight of the questions of this quiz is going to be Wii Sports or Tetris.
Cheers for ruining my quiz, Dav. God. No, it's not. I promise. Although I'm definitely going to do one of those. That has to be a quiz. A Wii quiz. A Wii quiz, and every answer is related in some way to Wii Sports. All right. Beyond that as well, Animal Crossing has sold more copies. New Horizons. God, I can't speak today. Has sold more than the entire Metroid franchise, which is nuts.
Wow.
Yep, 18.23 million copies. The Metroid franchise has sold. And Animal Crossing is New Horizons.
When you say franchise, you mean like every Metroid?
Yeah, every single Metroid is sold less than Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Even Federation Force.
I don't want to be too harsh on Animal Crossing, but like, surely Super Metroid is better than Animal Crossing.
I don't think it's a question of bet. Yeah, well, objectively it probably is, but I think honest to God, the amount of friends that I saw playing Animal Crossing when it first came out on my Switch, I think it was every single person. At one point,
that's crazy.
At one point, it was so you go just switch friends, and every single person was playing it. I've got a friend who's played it for 600 hours, and she's only got 2 games. One of them's Animal Crossing.
Because I feel like when I played Wild World, bear in mind 15 years ago, I was like 12. I was being like made fun of by my friends. They were like, "Oh, it's a stupid baby game." I didn't know anyone who was playing it, and I was really enjoying it.
There was no COVID.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that is probably. I mean,
it's also a very good game.
It's a great game.
It's probably the best Animal Crossing game.
I mean, according to critics, it is, and I've only played this one, so I can't really comment on that. So, but from what a lot of people say, from what you guys say, I'm going to go with you.
Also, Animal Crossing is a system seller.
It really
Metroid
is.
never really has been.
Well,
Metroid, it's weird.
Well,
Metroid's cool.
Well, the thing is as well is that Metroid. I remember reading something about Metroid, and it's the same with Pikmin actually. Metroid keeps being put on consoles either that don't sell well, or on consoles towards the end of its life, where it like for instance look at Metroid Prime. It's considered to be one of the greatest games of all time, but it was on the GameCube. And I know the third one came out on the Wii, but it was towards the tail end of the Wii. So I think basically from what I read, that and Pikmin always feels like it gets shafted a little bit, which is why I have high hopes for Metroid on the Switch, because it's so many people have bought. I would say there's more people who have bought a Switch who are gamers than maybe bought the Wii. Because like you said earlier, so many people bought the Wii. Grandparents, parents. I know so many people who have never bought a console before or after who had one. So beyond that as well. So beyond Animal Crossing, we're not going to talk about that anymore because you could keep talking about that all day with how much it's sold. We are going to talk about
anthropomorphic force.
There's just with regards to the Switch, it does mean the Switch has now got the best-selling franchises for these games. So Animal Crossing, Legend of Zelda, Smash Brothers, Luigi's Mansion, and Fire Emblem, their best-selling games are all on the Switch now, which is really impressive. I mean, even I think Pokemon, I think that's the second best-selling Pokemon game now. I think
Sword and Shield.
Wow. I think it is, and I think it's behind. It's either second or third, and it's behind Red, Blue, Green. So I'm not sure if it's ever gonna beat those, but it is mad.
I hope not.
I don't think it will.
Nowhere near as good as Red and Blue.
Yeah, I can't see it beating it, but then I don't know. I mean, and even when you consider Mario Kart Deluxe, I think the Mario Kart Wii, it sold like 32 million, or maybe 35, something like that. It's within target as well, so Mario Kart could have the best. I mean, it keeps selling. It's crazy.
We should talk about the fact the comparison of Red and Blue to Sword and Shield, because I haven't played Sword and Shield, but it has a lot. As I understand, it has a lot of problems. But Red and Blue is broken. Like, it's a really broken game. Like, it's really fun, but like most of the systems don't work as they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely unbalanced as a JRPG, but yet it's still recognized as a really great game. And I don't know if that's to do with the time that it came out, or nostalgia, or what it is. But
yeah, I don't know how unbalanced it is for JRPGs, which like in general are always like you just grind a bit and then suddenly you're just OP.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I mean in terms of like the typing, I mean like if you have Psychic Pokemon, you just win.
Yeah,
yeah.
Every single fight, and not, I mean the before this is before the special split, so. Special defense and special attack. Oh my god, I sound like such a nerd. Special attack and special defense are one unit. So, again, if you have a Pokemon that has a particularly high special, you win.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a bunch of moves that like don't work and stuff. Like like focus energy makes it so that you never get a critical hit, even though it's supposed to actually make it so that you get more critical hits. Just as an example. Now, again, I haven't played Sword and Shield. But I guess they're probably not that broken, at least, I would hope. I haven't heard anyone complaining that they're broken or unbalanced.
Less broken, but a lot less enjoyable.
And that's interesting. Like, I'm really interested as to what... Dang it, I'm going to have to buy it and play it.
I was going to say, Zach,
actual opinion.
I was going to say, would you ever consider buying a Switch Lite and restart? Because I think... Did you buy any games digitally, or were all of yours physical?
I think most of my games were digital, actually. So
you should be able to claim them all back.
There, yeah.
I think the only one you would lose, obviously,
maybe not, because the person who stole my Switch uses my account. Like,
I mean,
it
probably
doesn't have my card attached to it, but it has my name. They come up on my Fortnite sometimes, because I added them as a friend, and I see that they're playing on my Switch.
That's
crazy. I can't see anything about it.
That is crazy. That is crazy. You should definitely speak to Nintendo, because, I mean, I'm sure they go... Bye, but I mean, because I'm friends with you on the Switch. I never see you come up, so I never.
Maybe they're not using it.
Maybe they're not using it. But yeah. So we're gonna keep pressing on. We've got some interesting stuff to talk about. So just to carry on and finish with the Switch sales a little bit. The Switch has the top 6 best-selling exclusive this generation worldwide, which is mad. The top 6 best-selling exclusives. Have a guess which is in 7th place. So I have a guess which is in 7th place, which is not on the Switch. See if you can get it. One guess each.
It's not on the Switch?
Yeah, so what is the 7th best exclusive? It's either on the Xbox or the PS4.
Oh.
It's Uncharted 4, basically. So it goes...
Spider-Man.
So it's Mario Kart 8 is number 1, then Animal Crossing, then Smash Brothers, then Zelda Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Mario Odyssey. 6 best-selling games, exclusives this generation, which is, it's pretty mad. But yeah, I just thought I'd finish with that. Nintendo just, I think from a software side as well. I mean, hardware, amazing, but software, it's done. They've done incredibly well.
They've always been the kings of software, though.
Software, yeah. That is where they make their money. That's where they make their money. Just going to quickly talk about Microsoft xCloud game streaming. It actually, I think, was a data... it came out 2 days ago on Android. Specifically, I think Samsung. I have a Samsung phone. So I actually bought the Ultimate Game Pass. I haven't been able to try it yet because I need, like, I was saying to the guys beforehand, I need to get a controller that works. So I'm going to try and either get my PS4 to controller to work, or I'm going to buy one online that'll arrive tomorrow, and then I'm going to try it out. I mean, it seems to work fine from what I've tried. I've tried to play it, but obviously I can't because I can't control it. But it seems to work fine.
Suck it, Apple.
So I'm going to... it's that's been a big thing. That's been a really, really big thing. We'll probably talk about that next week because there's loads of stuff we can talk about that. But because I'll probably give an update next week when we have the podcast, see how it goes. I just wanted to say that if you wanted to try it, it's in beta, so limited beta test. It has about 30 games. Try it out on Android. It seems to be okay if you've got a controller. So yeah.
Cool.
I think the full date is coming on the 15th of September, so at that point it's going to have obviously hundreds of games. But for now, it's got 30. Try it out. It's got all of the, the big games. It's got Halo. It's got Gears of War. So yeah, try it out. We're going to move on to another... we talk about exclusives and move on to another exclusive. That's The Last of Us 2. That is just going to have a huge update. It's going to have the Grounded update, which includes permadeath, new modes, and extra trophies to try for. I think Zac, as the resident Last of Us 2 expert, he was very excited when I told him it's going to have the permadeath mode, which I do think that's really cool. And I do you know what, I would actually like to... I know you haven't got your streaming in place yet, but I would love to see you streaming that. Because that is...
Well, I have a few other playthroughs to do first, so I just started my... what's the highest... the difficulty below Grounded, because we haven't got Grounded yet.
I'm not too sure yet.
Survivalist or whatever it is. Yeah. I just started that without the reticle or like any menu. So like I don't know how many bullets I have at any given moment. I can't aim properly. And I've taken off the... like slowdown that it puts on the aiming. So in the normal game it like slows down over, and I've taken all that off. I just started that last night. That's gonna take me a while.
Yep.
And then I'll probably want to do Grounded, and then maybe I'll do the Grounded permadeath. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do permadeath. There are not many games where I'll have a go at doing that. Like, I thought about doing it for Hollow Knight at one point, but like It's a big undertaking. So
I think
that would be fun to stream.
Hollow Knight's a 35-hour game.
Well, Last of Us 2 is 30 hours as well. So it's 30 hours. Yeah, it's not a short. Like I kind of rushed through it, but I still got 28 hours. Yeah, it's not a short game. So like doing that in permadeath is that's.
But maybe that would be a cool thing to stream.
I think
I don't know if people would be interested to see that.
And I think with that one as well, with Last of Us 2, I think it's more how far you can get rather than can you complete the game, because it's just... I think the challenge is more... Really? Oh, that's why I want to see it. That's why I want to see you stream it, because I want to see you challenge it.
Yeah. So, I mean, once I've got through a few more playthroughs, I got pretty good at Last of Us 1, and I'm through a few playthroughs of Last of Us 2 now. Once I get the hang of... Because the other thing is, once I got the hang of no reticle Last of Us 1, going back to playing it with the reticle is like... I can sail through that game now, because I figured out how to, use the environment in my best way and use the, like the most common supplies in their best forms. The Last of Us 2 is similar, but obviously it has some updates and some changes and stuff. So I think I could do it after a couple more playthroughs. Yeah,
man, I would love to see that. Seriously, would love to see it. But yeah, so check that out. Check out that update. It is free. I think it's coming soon. Or maybe I don't have a date. I can't remember when it was, but it's supposed to be coming out soon. It might already be out. So just have a look. Just have a check. Cool. And finally, last bit of news. Rare turned 35 years old this week. So I just thought it'd be a really cool idea to ask the guys. I asked them just before the podcast what their favourite Rare game is, and we can just see if any of us have the same ones. I found this really hard, and I'll explain why, because I have about I'll come back to me. Dav, which is your favourite? Have you had a thought?
No question. Donkey Kong Country.
Question. You do love Donkey Kong Country. It's
one of the greatest games ever made.
It really is.
It's the second best 2D platformer, in my opinion, ever made.
Yeah, after.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
That's right, baby. No, it's yeah. And I think the crazy thing with this is whatever ones we say, I don't know if anyone could argue them really, because the thing, especially that Nintendo era, Rare, like that 10 years where they just kept game after game after game was just so good. But yeah, how about you, Zach? What would you say your favorite Rare game is?
I guess I want to say Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing with that era of Rare games is I love those games, but I don't know if I really want to play them again. Like, do you think you guys could play Banjo-Kazooie now?
It's on Rare Replay, so Dav, have you played it?
I played it for the first time on Rare Replay.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you find it?
I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know, half and half, I guess.
There's a lot of people who actually prefer going back to Banjo-Kazooie than Mario 64.
Well, I think if you're going back to the original Mario 64, I would probably feel the same. Only in so much as I think that Mario 64's movement isn't as
fluid,
as clean. Actually,
Yeah.
I mean, it. And also, I think I'm right in saying that Banjo-Kazooie uses fewer sprites for their collectibles and stuff, which not a big thing, but in terms of depth perception, I don't know about anyone else. I find it so difficult playing Mario 64 in its original and trying to fly around getting the red coins. I'm like, I can't see where that is. It looks like it's in a completely different place to where it is.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just a personal gripe. Yeah, I mean, I want to go back and play GoldenEye though. Can we do multiplayer Monday of GoldenEye?
It does not hold up. Absolutely.
Yeah, GoldenEye.
I know, that would be why it would be great.
Right, you get me an N64 and a copy of GoldenEye and a controller that works.
I have.
And we'll do it.
I have
I think I may
GoldenEye.
have
I have
some
a Nintendo
decent
64 and
controllers.
I have 4 controllers.
Do they work?
All of them work. All of my N64 stuff
Okay.
still works. The reason why is because I check in every month. I just check in a game every now and then. I wanted to start streaming it because I thought that'd be a great way for me to get into streaming, because I would love to just play the old class. I don't really care about new games. Just going back and replaying old classes is way more interesting to me than like playing new games where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, GoldenEye doesn't hold up. I think if the controls were different, it probably would. But because the controls are so integral to the game, it's hard. Saying that, however, my favorite game with Rare was really hard because I thought about both of those games. Not Donkey Kong Country when I played it recently, I was like, I could see that this would have been my favorite game if I played this growing up because it's just so fun. But I didn't, so I had to discount the Donkey Kong games. Apart from Donkey Kong 64, which was fun, but my god, just completing that is just a nightmare because, read up about it if you want to know why that game's a nightmare trying to complete it. So mine's a bit of a surprise, I imagine, but it's the game. I basically came down to the game that I played the most, and it might surprise you. Perfect Dark.
Okay.
So that, I actually think, and maybe people will agree, I think that's a more refined version of GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Especially because you can play it on Xbox. I think because I actually played it. I played it the last time I completed it was on my Xbox 360, like maybe about 10 years ago, and obviously you could use the actual controls like you would use them now. It was so much better, and the game is so good anyway. So as soon as they changed that, it looked slightly better. It's so good. I really hope Rare. I mean, they haven't got the same staff as they had before, but I would love to see Rare make another first-person shooter because they made them in such interesting. It wasn't like you see first-person shooters now. They made them so interesting and different that I don't know. But yeah, Perfect Dark. That's what I'd probably go with. It was the multiplayer in that also was as good as GoldenEye, but I just think GoldenEye always gets that little bit more love because it was so beloved.
Just being odd job with the hat.
Oh yeah, cheating. One of the developers came out recently and said that's cheating. It is. You can't. It's like you're missing his head. It's like trying to aim and you've got to aim down. It's like, oh no, I'm not having this. This is mad. But yeah, Zach, good point though. If there's any way that we can, when we're eventually allowed to come back together, we should definitely play some GoldenEye. That would be absolutely wicked. But yeah, that is the news. That is.
To stop before we go on, that Last of Us update is out today.
Oh, there we are. Awesome. I knew it was out soon, but I couldn't remember if it was today or in the future, whenever it was.
Thursday.
There it is. But yeah. What are you guys playing anything? Anything good? Anyone to go first? Zach?
Go on, Dave.
Oh, Dav, have you been playing anything that you want to talk about?
I've been playing Warzone, just grinding my way through Warzone.
Cool.
And I got a second the other day, and then my flatmate started talking to me, and it was just the worst in my life.
Social moments. How dare you? Do not interrupt
how dare
me.
You. But no, I've just been playing a bit of Warzone.
Cool.
Link's Awakening is a dream.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to talk about that when you finished it.
Yeah, I'm not far now.
Yeah.
I think I've got 2 more dungeons left.
Well, there was a laugh. What was it? Was it for Link's Awakening? Was it a dungeon? Yeah.
No, I said Link's Awakening is a dream.
I see what you did.
But I didn't mean to. It was a genuinely unintended pun.
Unintended. Noise.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Zach, what about you?
I just started playing Fall Guys.
Oh, yeah.
I started playing last night, and we were just saying before we started, is like, it seems like a really fun game, and I feel like I can definitely get into it. But not on my own. I think I'm going to be bored if I play it on my own.
Yeah.
Which I guess is true of a lot of those type of games. You know, like I've spoken a bit about, playing a bit of Fortnite, and I enjoy Fortnite, but I don't really want to play it on my own very much.
No.
I might have done at one point, but not so much now. I kind of really only want to play it with friends. And I think it's one of those things, it sort of requires a bit of a shared experience. There was a similar game I played a while ago, and I have no idea what it was called, but you basically run through with, it's like a 4-player tops, or maybe 8-player, and you're running across, like, it's like an obstacle course, but you can like push each other off the edge, and you have like a certain number of lives, and the person who runs out of lives first loses.
Yeah.
It's called like Crown.
Yes, I know it.
You know what I mean?
Carry on talking. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I've played that game.
I'm thinking of Crash Course, but that's a completely different game.
No, Doritos Crash Course. What a game!
That was an awesome game. Sorry. There's one of my friends who's definitely listening to this, going, yes, Doritos Crash Course was a good game. Heads up to Jamie. Anyway, Zach,
Big Crown Showdown.
Big Crown Showdown.
That's also fun to say.
Yeah. It's a good game. In fact, it's definitely a good game for a multiplayer Monday. But again, I wouldn't play that game on my own either. Like, I only had fun because it's me pushing my friend off the edge and being like, "Haha, I got you." I guess, or even like, the Four Swords games. Like, you can play them on your own, but you just wouldn't. Like, it just is not the same.
That would be awesome if it came out on the Switch. That'd be great.
That'd be cool.
And then we get Zach to buy a Switch. And then he could buy that as well. But yeah.
But so I'm gonna have a little bit more of a go of it this week, and play with some friends, hopefully. In fact, you guys are maybe gonna get it.
I am very tempted to get PS Plus to just to test it out, because it does look like fun. I mean, again, playing it multiplayer would be the only way that I would play it. And I don't really. Like with Mondays, I can always play multiplayer because I can always guarantee I'll be there. But like, I just so often I'm just doing stuff in the evenings. Like I never. That would be a game that would be fun. Like if say for instance, Rosie came in and was like watching TV or whatever, she would find that hilarious.
Rosie would like that game.
Yeah, she would think that was really funny. So I could I'd be like, oh yeah, let's play it. Play it together, whatever.
Yeah. And it's not a super complex concept. It's kind of Mario Party minigame level of complexity.
Speaking of, is Mario Party online? Sorry, Zach, to just change topic. Is it online?
Derail.
No. You can do mini games online, but you can't play the proper game online.
Madness.
You can only do it local.
Madness.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it's really stupid. It really is.
I wanted to do that as a multiplayer Monday, and Daf Weeks was like, no, we can't.
I blame Daf Weeks.
Come on! And there have been no updates to that game since it launched.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
That is true. It just makes me feel like they're working on another one, because that's what they always do. They release. Was it on the N64? There was 3 on the N64.
And there was like 4 on the GameCube. Maybe?
Yeah. There was loads in the Wii. Like, so wasn't this one like there was 10? Wasn't it 10? Like I don't know which one this is because it's Super Mario Party.
This would have been like 11, I think.
Yeah, it's like a refresh. It doesn't actually have the numbers, but I can't remember which one it was. But they put enough games out. But yeah, Zach, I mean, if you are gonna play, I definitely would be tempted to play with you.
Play games with me.
Yeah, because I think
I'll be getting on Steam. So if they ever do crossplay, then we're in.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I had to look into that. I don't think they are going to do crossplay by the sounds of it.
I've not seen anything so far.
I think if they are, I don't think they'd be able to say because of the deal with Sony and because how Sony kind of hate crossplay.
Yeah, they
But
really do.
maybe if it's coming to other consoles, maybe they'll announce it there.
Sure, that's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, anything else? Anything else we want to add? I mean,
Nah, that's pretty much it. Are you playing anything at the moment?
So, yeah, I'm. So I was away all last week. So I just had my Switch. And I didn't want to buy any new games because I've been playing Resident Evil recently. And that was really good. But I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood to continue playing it because it's been so nice and like it's been so sunny. And I thought, I fancy playing a more like just fun and uplifting game because it's summer and that's sometimes what you want. So I played a game that I've actually mentioned today. And I think maybe it's because we were all expecting the collection to come out soon, and the game I've been playing is Mario Odyssey. So I haven't actually played that since I completed it in like 2018. So it's been like two years since I actually played it last, and I was just like, let's play it again. Let's see how it holds up. And it really is just so fun, and I think. Zach, you're totally right about like the Mario 64. When you go back and play that game, like how it handles is so important, and I think that's why a lot of people hate Sunshine, because if it handles badly and the entire game is based around how you run around, then you're not really going to have a great time. Mario Odyssey, the controls are so good, they're so responsive, like it really, really does handle
I honestly
so
think
well.
that moving around in a game is like the very first part of making a game fun. If it doesn't feel good to move around, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be doing like triple jumps and like wall jumps, whatever. You know what I mean? Like that is a really intrinsic thing about the Mario world. But like even on the level of going back to like The Last of Us compared to Uncharted 1, moving around feels heavy, if you're playing The Last of Us, you feel like this, you're moving around in this grounded kind of human way, and Uncharted goes in a different direction. It's more floaty and stuff, and it's personal taste as well, but moving around has to be fun because that's what you're doing 100% of the time. You're never stood still in any game, and if you know what I mean? Like it's just,
and I think it's a really good point as well, because also it informs a lot about the characters as well, especially like The Last of Us 2, for instance. Like the way that Ellie moves is so different to Abby, and it informs you a lot about how they carry themselves. Like where Ellie's really, really light on her feet, whereas Abby's a bit more going back to Mario Odyssey, I still, because I remember at the time where like I would be like, oh, what's better, this or Breath of the Wild? Because they both have the same scores and everyone loves them both. And I totally see why people love Odyssey. I do think Breath of the Wild just is, for me, I think Breath of the Wild is probably my all-time favorite game, and I've said that enough times. But Odyssey is still so good, and like it just fills me with joy. It really, really does. Like the level design sometimes are really not boring, but obvious. But they still do a really good job, and the music is great. And I've had I've only been playing it for about maybe 4 hours, and I've not really been like sat there going, I'm going to play this to completion like I did the first time. I've just been dipping in and out, and weirdly, that feels even more organic than what I did the first time, because obviously when they designed it for you to be able to go, oh, I've got a moon, so I can turn my Switch off, and I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to continue from where I'm going. The Switch Odyssey felt like it was. I know it was built for the Switch, but it just goes so well with the way that the Switch plays and the way the Switch is, and I don't know. I like it does feel like the most optimized game for the Switch in so many ways, like the way it plays, the controls, the way it feels, like even more so than Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild was obviously supposed to be for the Wii U. But yeah, there's not really much more I can say other than like it's such a good game, and if you haven't played it, play it. Like, there's so many people I know who haven't played it, and it's just, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just like the idea that Mario is for children, that some people still think, and I'm just like, you're missing out on such a good experience. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I think maybe people have fallen out in love with the series. I mean, with Sunshine, which I think gets unfairly panned.
It does,
Galaxy people seem to kind of like, but I mean, since then, Galaxy 2 didn't, especially score well with audiences. And I never hear of anyone having played 3D World or 3D Land or
I think that's 3D World. I was actually looking at the score. It actually sold more than what's it called? New Super Mario Brothers U. It actually sold more than that. So I'm kind of expecting that to sell quite well on the Switch when it eventually comes out. I'm definitely gonna buy it. It looks fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've been playing. Should we finish off with a quiz?
Yeah,
it's my favourite part of the show.
So this is a hand.
There was a time when we didn't do a quiz.
I know, man. I don't know what. There's so many things. If people go back to the first episode and listen to it, and go, what is this trash? What am I listening to?
Where's my quiz?
Where's my quiz? Damn it! So yeah, this is actually a Jonny designed quiz as well. I spent a good hour or so coming up with this. So this yes, as we said earlier, Dav actually spoiled it because it's all about Wii Sports. 15 questions. Yeah, all the time. But it is so it's 15 questions. It's up to you. I'll ask you now. I've written. Obviously, I've got the answer, but I've also written 3 wrong answers. So I can either give you multiple choices, or you can just guess with nothing. What would you prefer?
Let's go with nothing.
Okay, cool.
Let's be brave.
Okay.
And if we're shit, bump it down to multiple choice.
Yeah.
I think there's some questions that I've specifically said were I'll have to give you multiple choice just because of the way it's worded and the way the question is. But I don't think that's all of them. Okay, fine. Let's do that. This is can someone do me a jingle, please? Dav Weeks, isn't it? Hi, and welcome to Video Games Ahoy Quiz. This is the quiz of the week and the day, I guess.
Quiz of the week and the day, I guess.
All right, awesome. Here we go. So, question number 1, and do please play at home or wherever you are. Just start shouting things out. If you're on a bus, shout out the answer. If you're on a train, shout out the answer out loud. Yeah, I want
open a window.
I want everyone to know these answers, and especially if you get it
Sports.
wrong. And if you get it wrong, I want you to shame yourself. Just because I think it'd be really funny for people on the bus. All right, here we go. So, question number 1. In 2001, the original Halo released on Xbox. But which month did it come out? There we are. That's the first question. This is how these things are going to go. You can
November.
You say November. Okay, Dav, what about you?
May.
Zach Hamilton gets a point right. Well done, Zach Hamilton.
I actually think I've seen that date before. I feel like it's like the 21st or something.
Memory is cheating.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, I'm just going to make sure I get these written down now because I want to make sure I get.
actually gonna look it up
Do you want to play against each other or
yes,
let's play against each other.
Points.
Zach's like, I have one. I will keep one.
This isn't Multiplayer Monday. This is All Out War.
Okay. Question number 2. Which of these characters was playable in the original Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64? Bowser, Ness, Peach, or Sheik?
Okay, I know this.
Okay. Don't say yeah. I will ask you. I'll give you.
How many? Sorry, was there a number?
So only one of these characters appeared in Smash Bros. 64.
Right,
so it was
okay.
Bowser, Ness, Peach, or Sheik.
Which
one of those characters? All right. On the count of 3. Actually, Dav, you go first, and then Zach say it straight after. Okay. So Dav, who do you think?
Peach.
Zach.
I think it's Ness. Weirdly.
Zach Hamilton with 2 points. It was Ness. Yeah, Zach.
I knew it wasn't Bowser.
Yeah, it was Ness, because you had to unlock him, and it was so weird because me and my friends spent ages like, who's this final character? And we unlocked him, and we were just like, who?
Who is this kid?
Who's this guy? Like, who's this guy?
Son.
Like, expected it to be like someone awesome, like Bowser or something. I was like, Ness? I'm like, obviously he's great now, but at the time we were just like, what? And he plays he plays so weirdly as well. It's but yeah. Okay, awesome. Question number 3. Okay. In which order did the main 5th generation consoles come out? Do you want to know which generation that is, or do you just want to guess? I'll give you a guess. It's the PlayStation 1, N64, Sega Saturn era. So which order did they come out? And I'm going to give you a point for every one you get right. Okay? So if you get them in the right order, you get 3. If you get 2 in the right order, if you get them all, you know what I mean? Okay? So you got potentially going to win 3
Okay.
points. So these, I think there were 2 other consoles. I think one of them was Atari, but I'm not including those because, sorry, no one cares. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so Zach, you go first. So which order do you think it was? So again, so you got PlayStation 1, N64, and Sega Saturn. Which order do you think they came out?
I'm going to say it's Sega Saturn, N64, and then PlayStation 1.
Okay, Dav?
I would have said the same, but I'm going to switch it up just because I'm going to say N64, Sega Saturn, PlayStation 1.
So one of you got 1 point. And it's Zach Hamilton.
Yes.
So it was.
I actually thought that you were gonna get them all right. To be honest.
No. You got 1 point, Zach. The
I
answer was Sega Saturn, PS1, and N64.
So I got 0 points.
0 points. You got 0 points.
Oof.
Okay. So this is question number 4. Okay. Question number 4. So when I tell, so I have to explain this one first because I don't want to confuse you. So basically, Pro Evolution Soccer was the last game to be released for the PS2. But when did it come out? So not like, so for instance with Pro Evolution Soccer, the year it comes out is the year the year it comes out is not the year that it's titled. So it always comes out. So like Pro Evolution Soccer 2020 came out in 2019. So ignore that.
Right.
Just which year. Oh, that's what I'm saying. It was a Pro Evolution Soccer game. Which year was the last one that came up for the PS2? You can have multiple choices if you want, but you both have to. Let's do it
legit.
2007.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 2007.
You guys aren't even close. Do you want to know the answer was?
What is that? 2010.
2013.
Oh my god!
What?
How crazy is that?
PlayStation 2?
Yeah, PlayStation 2. The last one that came out was 2013.
Oh, Japan, you so silly.
How mad is that?
Goodness, that is crazy.
Yeah. So yeah.
I was like, it has to be 2007, right? Surely.
Nil point.
Oof.
Nil point.
Nil point.
Okay. Right. Okay. Question number 5. Again, I hope you're playing at home. This is. I put a lot
I'm
of
not
effort
playing,
into this
apparently.
All right. Question number 5. Which again? Do you want? I'll not give you the answer. If you want, we'll keep going with. If none of you guys have any idea, then you both have to agree to get multiple choice. Okay. But if not, I'll leave it to you. Which Nintendo legend spent 3 weeks fixing bugs in Super Smash Bros. Melee to ensure it launched on time?
Oh, I actually have heard this before. I just have no idea what that guy's name is. That doesn't help.
But you might hear it, and so Dav.
That's true.
If you two want to agree, you two can agree to get 4 possible answers.
Okay.
But you have to agree. That's all.
I disagree.
So Dav,
Disagree.
do you have an answer, Dav?
Well, I'm assuming it's not that person, so I'm going to say maybe it's Satoru Iwata.
Okay, Zach, do you have an answer?
No, I don't.
Okay. Dav, well done. It's Satoru Iwata.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically, I think he was Nintendo. Either Nintendo president
that's
or
amazing.
he was massively high up at the time. I mean, I love Satoru Iwata. By the way, he's got a book coming out next year, which it's just I'm really excited to buy that because I always feel gutted about Satoru Iwata because whenever I read stuff about it, I'm like, man, I wish I paid attention more to Nintendo when he was in charge because the things that he did, like he took pay cuts when the Wii U wasn't selling well. Like he said, I'm taking less money to make sure that everyone. I remember
reading about that and just thinking that's like pretty cool move.
And considering like we know how much Nintendo don't pay their staff, like they get paid obviously a big wage, but they don't get paid like the American people CEOs do.
Yeah.
Like. It's him taking a pay cut. He's still going to get like $500,000, whatever. But like, he doesn't have to do it. But yeah, what a guy! What a guy! Just a very brief thing as well. He's actually he's in Breath of the Wild. They modeled a character after him, and it's really, really beautiful. There's a whole thing about that. If you don't know about it, go read up about it or try and find him in Breath of the Wild. He's in there, and it's really, really beautiful. Also, so is Robin Williams, and that's heartbreaking.
Is he?
Robin Williams, there's a character modeled after Robin Williams because obviously the game came out after he died. Because Robin Williams he actually did.
He's a big fan.
Well, he was a big fan. He named his daughter Zelda.
He
named his daughter Zelda, and he was in a couple of commercials for the 3DS games.
I love those commercials. They were really cute.
I love Robin Williams.
They were quite cheesy, but they were cute.
Again, I don't want to break people's hearts, but it was like the 6th anniversary of his death, like 3 days ago. And who doesn't love Robin Williams? let's move on. After that sober moment, but yeah, Satoru Iwata, Robin Williams, both legends. Question number 6: which of these celebrities? Oh, this is okay. I'm gonna have to give you answers for these because otherwise it's gonna be tricky. Which of these celebrities has not voiced a character in a GTA game? Okay. James Woods, Phil Collins, Axl Rose, Charlie Sheen. Okay, one of those people.
That's a good list.
One of those people has not voiced a character in the GTA game. 3 of them have. Do you want me to read them out again?
Wow, really?
Yeah, 3 of them have. James Woods, Phil Collins, Axl Rose, Charlie Sheen. One of them has not voiced a character in a GTA game. Who are we going with?
I'm going with...
Okay, let's go Zach first because I think Dav went first last time.
I'm going to say James Woods.
Okay, James Woods. Dav?
I'm going to go Phil Collins.
Well, you're both wrong.
Charlie Sheen,
it's Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
James Woods and Phil Collins were in Vice City. They were both in Vice City, I believe. I think they were both in Vice City. I know Phil Collins definitely was. I think James Woods was as well. And Axl Rose was in... I think he was in San Andreas. No, maybe he was in GTA 5. Anyway, Axl Rose plays a radio DJ. Or maybe he was San Andreas. He definitely is one of those games as a radio DJ. But yeah, Charlie Sheen has not been in it, although it seems like the perfect game for him to be in.
Yeah.
I spent a while thinking, who could I confuse them with that would be like... And I thought, as soon as I thought Charlie Sheen, I was like, found him. Found the person. Okay, question number 7. What are the birds in Skyward Sword called?
I never played it.
Oh, I could give it a guess.
Okay.
But I've never played it either.
Well, again, you got 4... I can give you multiple choice if you guys agree with to go with 4.
Let's have multiple choice, because I want to kind of...
Okay.
Oh, come on! Damn it.
Okay, Tav?
I'm behind. I need to try and change the back.
Tav, what are you going to go with?
I'm going to say Rivali.
Zach?
They're not called Rivali. If they're called Rivali, I'm going to be absolutely livid. I'm going to call them... Oh, is it the name of the species or the name of the...
the species, yeah. So these are the birds that you... they're not...
No, I've already given my answer. He doesn't need extra help. Thank you.
Well, yeah, that will...
I'm going to call them chubwubs.
And the answer...
Sounds like a
is chubwubs! No, the answer's not chubwubs. They're loftwings. They're called loftwings.
Loftwings.
Yeah, loftwings.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, so the answers I would have given were loftwings, skywings, redwings, and guardwings.
We would have got loftwings, I think.
Okay. Question number 8. What was the first 3D platformer? Again, multiple choice if you want it, but if not...
3D platformer.
Yeah, the first 3D platformer. What do you think it is?
Is it a trick question?
Is it a trick question? That's the question.
Are we including what do you call them?
So the only answer I can give you, because I don't want to give anything away, is this.
Yeah.
This I researched it, and this was considered the first 3D platform. I can only go by what the internet told me. That you might have a question. Think that's wrong. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with the internet. This is what I was told was the first 3D platformer. That's all I can say.
I have 2 answers for this.
Yeah, like I said, you can go multiple choice, and I can give you the 4.
I'm gonna go. Oh, actually, no. It's. Oh no, it is me to go first.
It is you. It is you to go first. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Sonic 3D, also known as Sonic 3D Blast.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that can't be right.
I'm gonna go with Gex.
I was going to put Gex on the list, but not because it was wrong. But
I know.
Okay, so if I give you the 4,
I left it off because it was correct.
No, because it was a good. it was a good. I thought that might convince someone because it's a good answer. Do you want me to give you the 4 and then you can guess?
Yeah,
maybe I'll do that from now. Maybe I'll just give you the 4 and you can guess. The first 3D platformer. So I said Croc, Mario 64, Jumping Flash, and 40 Winks. Which one?
Jumping Flash.
Jumping Flash.
What were the last 2?
Jumping Flash and 40 Winks. Jumping Flash was on the PlayStation. It's considered to be the first 3D platformer. This is the thing with Mario 64. That was actually released a year earlier than Mario 64. Mario 64 was always considered the first one that refined it. That's why it's always considered to be the best and the first, because it actually is the one that people took and used. But the first one is apparently Jumping Flash. Never played it, but I had heard of it. All right, question number 9.
Pretty sure Sonic 3D came out before that.
Question number 9.
Is it a 3D platformer?
taken up with the internet.
It's a jumpy game and it's 3D.
It's a jumpy game.
Right.
Which famous composer wrote music for the Fable series?
Oh, I know this.
I don't, so I'll go first, I guess.
Get wrecked. I know this because I've listened to the Fable 2 soundtrack loads.
It's great.
Awesome.
It's a
Go
great
and listen
soundtrack.
to it if you haven't already, and it sounds like the composer. There's a good
It does.
one.
It does.
Really,
It does.
You can tell that it's. This
I mean, I hope he gets it right, because otherwise we're thinking of doing it.
Famous composer, so like I'm assuming not a video game composer.
I mean, by
Hang on. Whoa.
no, yeah, oh, yeah, I can't say anything.
Works both ways, Dad.
Throw it a
Okay,
guess.
let's just go Grant Kirkhope.
Okay, Zach.
It's Danny Elfman.
It is Danny Elfman. It is Danny Elfman. Yeah.
I did know that as well.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. Yeah, it's and when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah, you
It's
can
the same.
tell.
It's the same with The Simpsons. As soon as you realize that Danny Elfman wrote the theme song for The Simpsons, you go, oh, of course he did, because has that. It has that really like just the vibe.
Oh yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
So the answers I would have said was Danny Elfman, John Powell, Harry Gregson Williams, or Randy Newman.
I would have loved it if it was Randy.
Randy Newman. This is Fable series going on today.
That's exactly what it would have sounded like.
But yeah, I love Randy Newman. To be fair, his scores,
I do.
his
He's
music
just a
in
very
like
funny
Toy
voice.
Story in particular, he does have a great voice. Just yeah, you got a friend in me. Anyway, let's continue before we get arrested for butchering Randy Newman. Question number 10. In GTA 5, early on in the game, Jimmy tried to sell something of Michael's to make some money that led to an early mission with Franklin. What did he sell? Do you want multiple choice? Because I don't think either of you have played GTA 5.
I have.
Oh,
I think I know the answer, but I'm willing to listen to multiple
Oh
choice.
wait, what were the names of the characters? Sorry, say the question again.
Okay, so in GTA 5, early on in the game, Jimmy tried to sell something of Michael's to make some money that led to an early mission with Franklin. What was it?
Oh, I have actually played that mission. I really don't enjoy GTA games.
Fair enough. Dav's willing to go multiple choice if you want to go multiple choice.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I love how you two are just turning it down and are like, no.
Absolutely not. Because I have an answer, which could be...
Okay.
Let's go dog.
Dog, okay. Zach?
Car.
So one of you was close to being correct, but still wrong.
Oh,
I'll give you the answer. So I'll give you the four choices. You can go with it. I imagine as soon as I mention what it is, you'll be like, oh, yeah, okay. Car, plane, drugs, yacht.
Drugs.
Maybe I'm wrong. It was a yacht.
Yacht. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember that.
So it was the mission that basically got Franklin to work with Michael for the first time. There's a good mission actually. You have to chase the yacht down the motorway or the freeway. What it's called. It's really good.
Oh,
Yeah,
I remember that
totally remember
one.
that now.
That's a good one.
I didn't remember the story around it though, but I do remember that mission.
That's what. So Jimmy tried to sell. His.
Who's
his
Jimmy?
His
The
son,
son?
Michael's son. Yeah, Michael's son. Who I always thought
What
was
is a
voiced.
Jimmy?
I always thought. What's his name? I always thought Jimmy was voiced by Jonah Hill, but he's not. Apparently, he sounds very similar to, but he's not.
Jonah Hill and Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so question 11. In the third chapter, Dav, I think you're going to get this. In the third chapter of Mario & Rabbids, how does the boss reveal his ghoulish plan?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
this.
you got this. This is the one I wrote for you, to be fair, and I thought you were going to get this. Sorry, Zach, you're probably
That's
not.
not fair. Where's my Last of Us 2 question?
I think it's
Let's
coming.
go multiple choice.
You're going to go... Okay.
That's
Do you
that's very benevolent of you.
want to go multiple choice?
I would love to go multiple choice. I
Okay.
have no idea what this is.
So, the multiple choice answers are... he reveals his plan via a ghoulish play, through an operatic aria, with a tap dance, or a jazz solo.
An opera. That seems very...
It's right. Yeah, it's right. I feel like Dav is regretting going multiple choice right now, but you both get a point. It's a great scene as well. Oh,
So
it's
good.
so
So
funny. That game, I do feel like it gets lost a little bit when we talk about best Switch games, because we go Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, all the Animal Crossing. It's such a good game. But yeah, it's a brilliant scene. If you're not going to play that game, just check it out. If you are going to play it, it's good. It's good stuff. Question number 12. How many power stars are officially in Super Mario 64 on the N64? Okay, specifically on the N64.
I've got a guess.
Okay.
I can't remember. Who goes first?
You can go first.
I think it's you. I think it's Dab actually, but you can go first because
I'm gonna say it's 100 and. It's either 120 or 140. 140 doesn't sound right, but I feel like I'm gonna kick myself. It's 120. I'm gonna say it's
okay. 120. Dav?
120.
It's 120.
Okay.
You backed yourself. Yeah, I think the DS version was 140. I think.
Yeah, that's probably where I've got it from.
That's why I specifically said on the N64 because I didn't want you to get confused and say that.
Because I don't think I ever beat the original. I think I only ever beat the DS version because
Yeah, I used to have back when I lived in Swansea. Me and my pals spent an entire day because it only takes like 10 hours to beat the game. So we started like 10 in the morning and just beat the game. Which I can't remember if we got 120 stars or if we just had to beat Bowser and that was it. But it was good fun. And that game in particular is good fun because we all know so much about it. It doesn't take long to get the stars. Okay, this is worded specifically. Okay, how many characters are currently playable in Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Wow.
Okay, there's multiple choice if you want it.
I feel like I could have an educated guess, but let's go multiple choice, I think.
Zach, do you want to go multiple choice?
No.
Okay.
I love how Dav threw you a rope in the last one as well. He's like, and you got it right as well.
No, let's do multiple choice.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Oh, Dav doesn't want to do it anymore. Oh, we've disagreed. All right. Who's going first?
Mummy and Daddy are fighting again.
Are we including the 3 Mii fighters?
I don't think they are included. I think So again, this is when I asked the internet. I said, how many characters are currently playable in Smash Bros. Ultimate? Nintendo Life told me this number. Okay, so again, if it's wrong, I apologize, but this is what I found on internet. Okay, if they were, I can't imagine they would include all of them. I imagine it would just be one. I imagine
usually
it would be
3.
Maybe it could be. I don't. Like I said, I don't want to throw off. Zach has said he's up for multiple choice. If you want to go there, I can give you the multiple choice.
No. Go on, Zach. What's your guess?
I think it's your Dav. I think it's your go first.
Okay.
Currently playable.
Currently playable. This is not the ones that are going to be added in. This is currently playable.
Let's go 68.
68. Zach?
I'm going to say 67.
Ooh, well, one of you is wrong. And the other one is also wrong. It's 76.
Damn it! That was my other number.
Yeah, 76. So I would have said 76, 79, and there's still 4 more left, I think. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Okay. Zach, you asked me earlier a question specifically for Dav. Well, here we go. What is Joel's daughter called in The Last of Us? Oh, this is multiple choice, by the way, if you want it.
What the hell is her name? Oh my goodness. How many times have I played that game and I can't think of what her name is?
I've got multiple choice.
I've got it. It's all good. I got it.
Okay.
No multiple choice for you.
He's been ruthless. I'm so sorry, Dav, but them's the rules.
Alright, let Zach answer first.
No, I tell you what, let's do multiple choice because I think you'll get it. I think you'll get it if we do multiple choice.
So I'll do multiple choice?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. Sarah, Ellie, Joanne, and Beth.
Yeah, I think it's D, Beth.
Beth, okay.
Is it Sarah? Sarah or Beth? Ah, fuck it. Sarah.
Zach?
Was one of them Sarah?
Zach, what's the answer?
God damn it, it's Sarah.
It's Sarah! Well
Yes!
done. Well done. I
can't believe I forgot what her name was.
Your face is amazing as well. When you watch this back, you just go... you have a genuine mini freak out. It's hilarious.
How have I... Honestly...
Okay, and the final question. Question number 15. In The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, what is the treasure you find in the first dungeon, Dragon Roost Cavern?
The treasure, as in the...
Yeah, as in the dungeon item. What you get from the dungeon, the treasure. Yeah. I've got multiple choice if you want it. But I think you've both played Wind Waker, so...
Played it a little bit. I don't think I ever got there that far.
I know the answer.
I'll guess.
Yep.
The Hylian Shield.
I like that. Strong and solid. Actually, because I think Zach's going to get... No, actually, Zach, just say what it is.
It's the grappling hook.
It is the grappling hook, yes.
So early on. How lovely.
Yeah, it's really great as well. I love the grappling hook. That is the end of the quiz. Do you want to know the scores?
No.
I would love to know the scores.
In a respectable,
I never win these.
In a respectable second place is Dav Gape with a magnificent 4.
Oh, 4.
In a very strong first place is Zach Hamilton with 8. So, well done, gents. I kind of enjoyed writing that quiz, so I might start writing the quizzes like this. It just takes a while, that's all. But yeah, I'll try and do like 15 questions like this. I've still got, maybe I'll do like specific eras, like the PS2 one and Nintendo one. Then maybe that'll be easier for my brain to work out questions to ask. But yeah, that is it. That is the end of podcast number 17. Thank you very much for listening today. If you enjoyed the show, then please check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Patreon. Tell your friends, give us a review or a comment. It would really mean the world to us. Dav is always streaming, so check him out over on Twitch. Where are we at, Dav?
www.twitch.tv/videogamesahoy.
That's right. He's streaming lots of cool stuff. Watch him as currently he's playing loads of cool stuff. Specifically, watch him playing Link's Awakening. I love that game. Everyone loves that game, and it's just gorgeous. And he might need the help every now and then, not because Dav can't figure it out, but it's a blooming hard game. Like when I honestly when I played it recently, I was like, what? But yeah. Thanks, gents. Thank you so much. That is it. That's the end. This is Video Games Ahoy, and we'll see you next week. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.